Hey guys, welcome back to Opportunity today with a new video. Today, taking a look at some Marvel Rivals with a Star-Lord guide. I thought we'd start off pretty easy with what is probably the best duelist, like DPS character in Marvel Rivals right now. This is the closed alpha, so anything can really change, and if you're watching this video at launch or in the future sometime, check the pinned comment. I'm going to put anything that's changed in the pinned comment there instead of making like a new video. But today is going to be a quick guide on how to play Star-Lord to his best of his potential, his maximum ability. And it's not going to be anything too crazy because Star-Lord is pretty straightforward. That's why I thought we'd start with him. He is an incredibly strong, just straight shooting, simple DPS character, but he's got enough of a skill ceiling on movement and like getting in, getting out sort of abilities that he does still have a decent bit of skill to him, even though he, right now, in my opinion, is pretty overpowered and kind of one of those like brainless, insanely good characters. So he's a good place to start when you do end up getting your hands on the game. If you aren't in the closed alpha, there is a closed beta, and then there'll probably be an open beta, and then the full launch. So at some point you'll be able to play, and I definitely recommend Star-Lord as a good starting place if you enjoy DPS. Now getting into the actual abilities, Star-Lord's normal fire is these 𝐷𝐢𝐸 pistols that are fully automatic, exactly like Tracer from Overwatch. I'm going to be doing a few Overwatch comparisons because I know there's a lot of overlap in the player base and fan base of those games. I myself played Overwatch 1 an extreme amount, and anything past that I don't really know. But I can definitely tell you that he plays just like Tracer because his left click is, you know, the normal fire of the guns, and his right click is a sort of front flip dodge, like side flip dodge that will dodge in whatever way you're inputting, like your movements. If you're moving left and you hit it, you'll dodge left. And you can dodge backwards, you can dodge in and out of battle using it. And what's insane about this right click is that it reloads your gun for you, and you can pocket two of these that are on recharge. Think of these like Tracer's blink as well, so instead of teleporting, you're doing a dodge animation and reloading your weapons automatically, which is extremely strong because these things put out some insane DPS, especially if you're able to headshot in this game in general. The headshot multiplier is very strong. You can put out some nutty damage with really any character, but Star-Lord is going to be up there with the best of them. Now you're just going to pretty much be holding left click at all times and just aiming it at someone's head as best you can, and then you'll right click to dodge and reload. You'll dump another mag, you'll dodge and reload. You'll see me use it in some of these clips too to, like, if I get a little too crazy, to dodge out of combat, and then you can keep, you know, ticking damage as you're dodging away and reloading. He also has his movement ability, which is on shift, which gives you like a jet propulsion from his like rocket boots. You can use this to fly up, you can use it to fly in, so you can also get back to the fight pretty quickly after dying. The shift flying is pretty powerful as well. And then his last ability besides his ultimate is his E, which is like Reaper's ultimate, but it's literally on your E. It's like your secondary ability that has a little cooldown, and it functions just like Reaper's ult. If you don't know, he's going to just kind of shoot around and dodge around in like a circle, and it'll damage an AoE around you. Anyone around you is going to take damage from that, and it is pretty strong. It's a good amount of damage. So if you're near any enemies, or a group of enemies especially, and if you can get in behind them using your dodge or your jetpack or whatever, and you can flank around and hit them with that E, or if a melee ability or melee character tries to dive you, like a Magic or a Spider-Man or a Hulk, or even like a squishier character is near you at all, you can use your E to damage them, and you can even use this E in the air. So that is a very strong counter to flying characters. Star-Lord's already really good at taking out flying characters because he's got good range DPS. A little different than Tracer. Instead of having to be right up in their face, you can still do really good damage from a range using Star-Lord. But if there's a flying Iron Man or a Storm, or even like sometimes a Wanda or a Loki who's way up on a ledge or something like that, you can fly up to them and hit your E, and he'll stay, like, he won't drop down or anything. He'll stay where he is doing his AoE E. So if you can like do some damage with your left click, your normal fire on an Iron Man, then fly up to him and hit your E on him, or same with Storm or any of these flying characters, you're going to be able to do a good burst of damage on them and disrupt whatever they're trying to do. It's also, like I said, very good for grouped enemies or for on the site. Star-Lord does really well on any of the game modes, it would seem. Some characters, like melee specific ones, aren't going to be very good on payload because you are, you know, pretty much fighting at a medium to long range on payload, and then the odd diving team fight. Whereas if you're playing capturing the point, that will be more close fighting. You can get away with playing a melee character. Star-Lord seems to fit in really any sort of map, any sort of mode, any sort of team comp. He doesn't have any combinations right now, like there's no characters that you play with him that boost him or anything like that. No team up abilities, but his normal kit is just so strong as a DPS that you're really not going to have any sort of disadvantage by just having one on your team. He can be extremely annoying. He's able to get in and out of combat really quickly and has a very high survivability because of his movement abilities with the dodge and his jetpacks as well. And on top of all that, his ultimate is of course on Q, and this thing is ridiculous. It is identical to Soldier 76's ultimate, but you can also fly while doing it, meaning that you can literally fly up with your shift or your ultimate, but you can fly up above the enemies, hit your Q, go into your ult, and for like 10 seconds or something like that, you have fully automatic pistols that lock on to whoever you're kind of generally aiming at, and you're just going to hold left click and clean up kills. Any squishier, smaller, like any healers, any other DPS, you're going to kill them in basically one mag, and you can just take out probably 3-4 people with one ultimate if they're grouped up nicely for you, or if they're trying to push a site and you're denying it, or vice versa. His ultimate's extremely strong. So again, for those Overwatch players out there, think of this like the core gameplay is Tracer. The E is an AoE damaging thing, just like Reaper's ult, a little bit weaker obviously because it's not an ultimate, but still quite strong enough to kill like half of pretty much any character besides a tank. And then his ultimate is Soldier 76's, but you can fly. So that's an aimbot lock-on flying fully automatic Star-Lord way up in the sky. You're very hard to hit. If they want to hit you, they have to look up, meaning that your team is going to be destroying them when they're looking up in the sky. Or they have to kind of just run and hope that you don't just rinse them. Meanwhile, you're faster than them most likely because of the flying, and you're above them and you're locking onto them. So all in all, Star-Lord has some insane abilities, and right now he's one of the easiest to play, I would say, of the DPS characters. There are some like super straightforward simple characters, even more so than Peter Quill's Star-Lord here. But I think that he's pretty fun to play as well because it's quite engaging. Your right-click dodge has 2 pocketed, and the 1 will recharge once you use 1. So you can almost set it up so you always have this dodge, and you almost never even need to actually reload, especially not when you're like in the thick of it. You can get a full mag, dodge, another full mag, dodge, another full mag before ever having to actually reload, and then those are going to come back as well. As long as you have a decent healer like a Mantis or a Loki on your team, who are giving you some heals while you're on the front lines or like behind them even, you're going to be able to do some insane damage and rack up crazy kills using Star-Lord. Definitely recommend checking him out if you're a fan of the character or just a fan of the sort of playstyle that he brings with that DPS annoying kind of character. And even against tanks like Hulk or something in these clips, you can see that well-placed shots on the head, and he's super easy to control as well. Like there's no real recoil to it. You can just dump mags into any other character and you're going to be seeing some great results from doing so. And yeah, that's going to be about it for the Star-Lord guide. I'm going to put some clips here at the end of just like highlights of the character, how he works. Obviously the alpha is very new still and very early. I'm not going to pretend like I know all the ins and outs of every character or everything there is to the game or anything like that. But I wanted to get this content out for you guys to see it. And this is an idea of where I'm hoping to go with the content, with a guide for each character. The more complicated ones are going to be more in depth, and then some of the easier characters is just going to basically be, like I did today, going over their abilities and some of the best ways you can use those abilities to get yourself a win. And if you guys want to see more Marvel Rivals content, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what character you want to see next. Last video we had people recommending Magneto, who I haven't got a chance to play yet, so maybe I'll take a look at Magneto next. That's about it though. Thank you guys so much for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Let me know what you guys think of this guide. They're going to improve as they go, but yeah, enjoy the clips of Star-Lord, and let me know what you guys think. Oh my god, man. So stupid. So dumb.
Double KO! The final 10 seconds! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I lift up my did you see that? Oh, they do not look